Hi there again. Okay, so we'd left the thing. Now we're actually drawing our table from JavaScript dynamically using loops, only including the HTML for individual tags, so individual cells. And so that makes our code a lot easier to use. Um, so what we can do now, we were going to, as we did before with the button, we added on this thing to listen to the clicks when it was, so we knew when the button was clicked. We want something to know when each of the individual cells are going to be clicked. So we could do the same idea. We can put on click when when the cell has been clicked. We can call a function. Okay, so what are we going to call our function? Cell clicked to be not very original. So cell clicked, so with that, now we know that our, whenever the user clicks on one of the squares, it's going to call that function. Okay, so we should get an error because, okay, it's trying to call clicked, but it's not defined. That's why we get that error. But it's good to try it out and see. We know that it's working, at least it's listening to the click and it's trying to call a function. But we get the function because it's not created. So let's go and create it. Cell clicked. And we can test this out as well and just do a console log. Okay. You've clicked. Let's save, reload. There we go. Click over here. If I click outside, it's not picking it up. Click inside, all those clicks. Good. The thing is, we don't know which one has been clicked because we're listening. We've got this same function being called for all of the cells. So what can we do about that? Well, there is a special, what we said, there are special keywords in the language, in different programming languages. A keyword would be function, a keyword would be let, const, because they're not like things we define, they're given to us. For, return, these are all keywords of the language. There's a special variable in JavaScript and in other languages as well. In this case, it's called the this variable. This refers to the context we are in when we're in our code. So if we could have a this inside this function or inside an object, and it would refer to that object where we are. In this case, it'll come in handy because we're trying to construct on our web page. We've got elements. Here, I'll show you another trick. So we'll go to our elements here. Right, and there's a thing over here. We can open up the console drawer, the console at the bottom. Clear that out with that. Okay, I'm going to squash this down a bit, the styles, because I'm not interested in the styles right now. So we can select this one and see how it's got a dollar sign, $0. We could use that in down the bottom here, and this refers to our to the element we've actually selected. We can say inner HTML, and it'll print out all the HTML that is inside the table. Okay, so if we only want this one, we can do it again, the exact same thing, but now we've got the TD element selected. It's empty, it hasn't got anything inside it, so that's good. If we select the TR, there we go, we've got the different cells inside of it. So yeah, so that's a way we can see that it's being selected. Anyway, we can know that, so this is like the context, okay? So our this, when we're in this element, now this is going to point to the element itself. I'll show you in the practice in the code. Maybe it'll be a bit clearer, more clear. So we put this, we're passing in this. This is going to refer to the actual element we're on, the HTML element, which is the TD. So that'll come in handy to know which cell has actually been clicked. Okay, so now we're passing in this, and we'll receive it, the actual element, the HTML element here. You've clicked. If we put a comma and this, we could see a comma and cell, we could actually see which one is being clicked. Reload, click here. Now, see, it's telling us the element that's been clicked. But we've got another problem. Even though we're receiving the element, we have no reference really to say, no, that's okay. Yeah, we've got their reference. So what do we want to do? We want to set the X. Now we want to set the contents of that what's it called? That cell we're receiving in the function. Okay, so we've got this. How do we do that? With the inner HTML again. Equals, we can put an X. Okay, we'll save, reload. Now we'll start clicking again. There we go. It's setting the X where we're clicking, because now we're receiving the actual reference to the element, the cell that's been clicked. That's a good one. The thing is, now we've only got X's. That's not so good. So we'll have to fix that up. Now we'll have to keep track. So we have to analyze each part. So we go bit by bit, breaking down our whole problem into little parts and making little steps, as you can see. So this is the way we basically do things. So what will be our next step? Now we'll have to, I suppose, keep track of what the last selection has been, to know which one, and to then, instead of if the last one is an X, well, the next one has to be a 0, of course. And if the last one was a 0, then we have to draw an X. Okay, but we'll do that in the next video. Okay, so until then, we'll have a good time practicing.